Hello everyone, my name is David Miller from Harrow Council. I'm the Web GIS Service Manager at Harrow, so I'm responsible for the website, GIS functions at Harrow and the LPG as well. So it's quite a varied role. I've been at Harrow for about 13 years now, so I've been working with Jadu for about 13 years, funny enough. So that's quite a long time. So you might not know where Harrow is, so I thought I'd just put up this slide. So Harrow is in North London. We have a population of about 248,000 people. We've got 95,000 properties, and our council tenants is about we've got about 5,000 properties which are covered under the council tenancy. So where do we start with the housing portal? So we started with our customers. We looked at our contact channels, and we looked at the different channels. So we've got telephone, web form submissions, face-to-face, email, and we worked out that actually council tenants took up a disproportionate amount of overall contact, and the online usage was extremely low. So as you can see there, in terms of email, web form submissions, it's very low compared to how many council tenants we have. But our telephone contact was extremely high. We also looked at the volume and broken it down by department. So what we worked out was that council tenants drove contact around numerous different areas of the council. So you'd have a council tenant who would phone up and say, okay, my tap's leaking. But they'd also have to say at the same time, well, actually someone's not picked up my bin. So that request would need to, because the tenants don't see the council as different departments, they just fire off the questions there and then. And because we work very much in different departments, we have to make sure this request gets through to the different areas. So we looked at the phone contact, and what we learned was that council tenants were mainly contacts around repairs and balance inquiries. So we figured that if we could solve that problem, we could cut down contact dramatically. We also ran some face-to-face sessions with focus groups, and we asked them about the council website. So housing is hidden underneath a mega menu there. So we found there was, customers were telling us it was very difficult to find information. We also dug a bit deeper and looked at heat map analysis behind the service pages. And again, the information is disorganized. So you can see from this heat map here, you've got, at the same level, you've got information about council garage lettings. There was no separation in terms of what customers are mainly contacted about, and therefore they were finding it very difficult to find information. We also look at the website visits, and this is an extract from April 2015. But online contact was varied. It was spread quite a bit, but again, it was mainly around repairs and balances. That's what people were calling us about. So what did we find out? A lot. Tenant needs. So council tenants do not distinguish between the internal service areas. So just going back to that example before about someone calling up about a tap repair, they'd also contact us about waste at the same time. Most tenants are interested in their own rent balance and submitting repair requests. So they're very much focused on what they need, as you'd imagine. Tenants want to track the status of what they reported as well. So we found a lot of customers were calling us up and chasing, finding out why this wasn't repaired. And tenants wanted a single personalised view. They wanted to just see about their circumstances. They just wanted to see their issues. They didn't want to see all this other information. So that's what the tenant wanted. Customer services wanted something different. So customer services wanted to have a self-service area and have a single view of the customer. They, as you can all appreciate, we're all trying to channel shift from face-to-face to telephone to web. What we also found out was that 12% of overall council contact, not just housing, but 12% of overall council contact is from tenants and leaseholders. Given that they're 5%, it shows that they're using a lot of council resources. So we've looked into, I've just broken it down a little bit further. we could work out that 48% of that 12% was mainly around repairs and tenancy inquiries and rent inquiries. And then you'd have this bit about the wrong department. So they'd contact the housing section to say their waste hasn't been picked up. So the housing service area's needs, there was very much around tenant satisfaction because they bring in revenue. They're very much they want to make sure the tenant's happy, and they want to make sure the tenant has got most up-to-date information, their balances and their statement information, and they want to engage with the tenant quite a lot as well. So they want to hear the tenant's views in terms of consultations and any of these schemes which the area would run. And they also want to monitor the contractors. So we don't fix those taps at Harrow. We get another company. We outsource the work to another company. So we need to make sure we monitor those suppliers to make sure they provide a good service. So the way it works at Harrow, in terms of my area, we would work with an area. So we would pitch to an area and say that these are the savings which we can make. So in this area, we went to the housing area and we said, look, this is what we think we can do. So we've done this initial analysis and we think we can make things better. So what do we propose? A lot. So as a high level, we propose that we could offer facilities online for customers to be able to check their balance, to provide clear payment options, and to view the statement history. We proposed that we could provide localised information, localised and personalised. We proposed that we could provide consultations and volunteering opportunities online. We proposed that we provide a one-stop place for customers to report repairs. Before we had lots of different routes. This is what we proposed. We proposed a one place for customers to see that information and to report the repair history, communal repair history, to view communal repair history, and a single place for them to escalate any issues which they've got. We also propose to provide a new tenant process where what we used to do was we used to provide lots and lots of paperwork. So when a tenant would enter their tenancy, we'd give them lots and lots of information. That would take 90 minutes per tenancy. So we proposed that we could bring that down to 30 minutes. What we also propose is that to link into our current infrastructure, to link into what the housing area wanted and customer services, we wanted to avoid the rekeying of information and have a single view of the customer. So in that middle box there, what we propose is to use the Jadu product and create what's called a housing portal, because tenants are very, you've probably all come across personas and groupings of customers. So this is very much where we've grouped a set of customers, and our solution was to create a housing portal which linked up to our online account and seems linked up to our web forms product, which moved on to the customer services in the back office. So it's very much a joined up approach in terms of our infrastructure, make sure it all links up. We also propose to link up to, and I'm very pleased Northgate are here today, link up to the OWN's Northgate solution as well. So what we delivered, guess what's coming next? A lot. So using the Galaxy product, Siraj, you like that screen? I'll tell that. So we created what we call the housing portal. So we created the new tenancy engagement pages, which are targeted. So this section here is actually particularly a carousel, which is targeted to where they live. So Andrew talked about UPI earlier on, and because it's linked up to the account, we know a lot about the customer, so that we can personalise and localise the information which we present to the customer. We linked up all the engagement into an area called Getting Involved. We provided an area for rent balances and statements. So a customer, once they've logged on to the account, they can see the rent balance, they can link directly to the payment facility, and they can see the rent history. And this is seamlessly linked into the Northgate OHM system, so it's real-time information. So Northgate were great because they provided us the APIs which we can utilise and pull back the information at real time, rather than using a tactical database. We also provided an area for customers to report repairs. So customers could go to one place, they could report a repair. And the repairs history is also brought back to the customer, again from the system, from the back office system. Since it's gone live, the phase 2, we've seen a 95% increase in web form submissions. Our tenancy packs are all online now. Because the new tenant sign-up process has now, this is the calculations which we've used in terms of realising the benefits. We've had a cost per tenant sign-up reduced by 62%. So before it was £25.40, now it's £9.76. There are cross-council benefits, but we think it's too early to measure. However, what we can see is that this is the journey, our channel shift journey from 2012 to 13, and this is where self-service, we measure self-service including web visits, and as you can see, it's increased over the last 5 or 6 years. Previously, these are the different digital deliveries which we've created over the years, but since the housing portal has gone live, the phase 1, this is overall council contact. This isn't just for housing, this is overall council contact. We've had an increase of 3.8% in 2016-17, and so far since the housing portal phase 2, we've had an increase this year of 1.6% of self-service. So even though those percentages seem small, in terms of numbers, that's quite significant. The next phase is the leaseholders section. So we're going to be providing repair history for blocks and estates. We're going to provide facilities for customers to reduce the service charge disputes. We're going to provide service charge balance and breakdown, and we're going to provide major works area.
Thank you, Dave.